Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Armoury and welcome to my. It continuously bees with me, actually. He might as well be my co host. Brenny, how are you doing? Oh, we're having connection issues again, I think. Is he there, Brenny? Brenny, you there? Is he there? Brenny, are you there? Right, well, we are here to do the player ratings. I think Brenny hopefully can hear me very soon. Definitely hoping he can soon.
Recently, and the last few this has happened. Hopefully, he'll be with us in the next minute or two.
Right, this is going to be fun because I need your ratings for the players. Hopefully, we'll get there. So, we're going to talk about Ramsdale very quickly. Don't want to do this for too long. We have got 25 players to go through that have played for us this season, so it's quite a lot. I don't want it being a very long stream. So we're going to talk about Ramsdale. He's played 16 times for Arsenal and kept 8 clean sheets, which is actually quite surprising considering he's had some dodgy games. Brenny, what do you think about Ramsdale this season?
So far this season,
Yeah,
I think this is going to be very interesting. I know that you all in the chat will have good point. Sorry,
sorry, your connection's going in and out like a yo-yo.
Best player. I mean, I already know who. I've already said who, but and I know what Mark. It's been a great season so far, and we still get in. God, Bobby, you get there.
Sorry, Brenny, your internet's going out so much. I can't really work out what you're saying. It's quite funny due to the fact I actually need your ratings. So Ramsdale. Okay, so Tony's saying here Ramsdale has had a chilled out season, sitting on in between the stocks with a cuppa. He's chilling with a 6. And yeah, Tony's saying that your connection is so bad. It's
no.
All right, mate. You're gonna go out and see if you can come back out. All right. So I'm gonna go with a 6. I think between a 6 and a 7 for Ramsdale personally. I think he's had a decent season. He's definitely made some errors for me. He hasn't. I think he had a better season than last season. Obviously, we're only halfway through it. That is something we do have to bear in mind. Hopefully, Brenny is there. Are you there, Brenny? No, I think his internet is so bad. His connection is awful. Hopefully, he'll get back. So yeah, I want to go with. I think Tony's gone for a 6. I'm gonna have to go with a 7. But then yeah, I think it's definitely Ramsdale's definitely pulled off some good saves. Yeah, he's played 2. Yeah, that's why I've got Premier League. Premier League, he's played 16 games, 7 clean sheets in the Premier League, 2 in Europa, 1 clean sheet in Europa. So in total, he's played 16 games this season. So, and obviously, he made that big error against PSV, which was horrendous for me. Brenny, are you there yet, mate? No, I don't think he is. So I'm going to go with Tony's score. I'm going to go with Tony's score on that one. So next person we've got. Are you back? I don't know if Brenny's back. I'm going to keep persevering. So Matt Turner, obviously his debut season, hasn't made a Premier League start as of yet. Don't think he will unless Ramsdale gets injured. He's played 4 in Europa, 3 clean sheets. I actually think that he's probably been our better goalkeeper, more reliable anyway. I still think he needs to improve his footwork. I'll be perfectly honest there. So yeah, I'm going to go. If Tony's there, there we go. I'm just going to take Brenny out just for a minute. Just the fact Tony's having an issue. So yeah, Turner 6 or 7, I'm guessing. Tony, if you're there, give me your number, mate. I want to know your number. I'm thinking 7, only because I don't feel he's made an error. It's very hard to say. Is Brenny back now?
I didn't realise it was me.
No, it's all right. It's all right, but don't worry about it.
No, I didn't realise it was me.
Yeah. Well, 7 partly.
That is nuts.
All right, Tony. You're going for a 5 for Matt. You're going to have to explain that one to me, mate. Okay, so we were on Matt Turner. We've gave him Ramsdale a 6. So for you, Brenny, what would you give Turner out of 10?
Whew.
I can't understand Tony's 5, to be honest.
Well, for me, I'd have to give him. I'm giving him a 7. He's done all right in the games that he's featured in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how many clean sheets he had? What he must have? What about?
Well, he's
2,
had 3. He's had 3 out of 4 games, which is actually very impressive.
Hmm.
But Tony is saying, was his games really a test? I don't think that really matters. It's depending on what you do as a goalkeeper. Some of those games we weren't brilliant in. So I think he's got to get a 7. I think he's been better than Ramsdale. I think he's been more reliable than Ramsdale.
Yeah. For
me. And if Brenny's going to agree, Brenny's my co-host today. So Brenny is the scorer. I'm going to go with 7. Now, obviously, I've had to put Hein in because he has made a league an appearance. Obviously, it was the League Cup against Brighton where we actually lost 3-1. However, still have to give him a rating. Doesn't matter. So with Hein, I don't know if you managed to see any of the Brighton game. Did you?
No, I didn't. It was difficult.
Yeah. I'm totally saying that we're generous for 7. I think Turner's been better than Ramsdale. But with Hein, I think I have to give him a 5 or a 4. No. You know, I know he's better than what we've seen against Brighton. Tony going for a -1 on Hein. I think that is slightly unfair. What would you give a goalkeeper that made an error against Brighton, let 3 in against Brighton, but he's only played 1 game? What would you give him?
You know what? It's very it's a difficult one, and the reason why I said that is because Sky Sports News were basically, they were showing bits of action of all the games that night, and they were mainly showing any goal threats and goals itself. So I never read the review, and you know, because for example, we conceded 3, but it could have made some saves.
Yeah,
some good saves. But I find that really hard to judge because I never saw the game.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to call because of that, really, from that one game.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to do a
I
Nwaneri
would
as
say
well.
just. I hear you, Bobby. I mean, I'd just say a 5.
Yeah, fair enough. we're stressing Tony out. He's smashed 3 Whisper Gold. I don't even like Whisper
the
Gold.
miniature ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't even like them.
neither do I.
I like Whispers. I just don't like Whisper Gold. Right. Now we're getting interesting. Saliba. Okay, so he's played 17 games for us, 14 in Premier League, 2 in Europa, 1 in League Cup, 2 goals, 1 assist. What are you going to give Saliba?
9 out of 10.
Okay, what's your reason for the 9?
I suppose he would have. He probably would have had a 10 if. Well, I thought the Wolves game he was okay,
Yeah.
but I've seen in the last few games I've seen that even though he's played well, he's done his job, he's been doing his job. I think that Gabriel in the last maybe 2-3 games has been the better centre half.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, but he's been fantastic this season, no doubt. I'd say 9.
Okay. Tony's going for an 8. But you're my co-host. You're the one doing the rating, so I'm going to go with a 9. I probably do edge a little bit closer to the 8. He has had a few, but the thing is, when Saliba makes a mistake, he soon rectifies it as well. So
yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
the difference with Saliba. But I'm going to put a 9 down for you because it's your scores, not mine. We'll move on to Ben White. Now he's played 14 in the Premier League, 5 in Europa, but 3 were sub appearances, and he's done 2 assists. Still don't agree with one of those assists, but never mind. So for Ben White, what are you going to give Ben, or Benjamin, as he likes to be called?
He's been fantastic at right back this season. I mean, for me, I'd say he gets an 8, but I'm swinging more towards 8.5. I just think he's been brilliant this season.
Okay, here's my question to you. You've given Saliba a 9, but you've gone for 8 for White. I can't actually think of anything that White's done wrong this season. No, I'm not saying give him a 10. I don't think any player deserves a 10. They have to be marvellous every single game. But I'd be more...
It's a tough one. Sorry, I'm a bit a tough one. It's not a tough one because I'm just right here racking my brains of his performances, going through the games. I'm just thinking, to be honest, of an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm looking at thinking, well, he certainly doesn't get a 7 because he's been above that overall. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony gives him an 8.5. I know why he's done the 8.5, just to annoy me because I can't stand 0.5s. But to be honest, if we're giving Saliba a 9, I think we can't mark him lower than Saliba because Saliba's had his little moments.
Yeah,
but he's rectified it. But when White,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. I would say on that, I'd go with a 9 as well because he has been in his position, considering he's a centre half, he's been outstanding.
Yeah,
right back. He's been absolutely outstanding.
Right, Gabriel. Now this might be where me and you might disagree because Gabriel for me hasn't been the greatest this season. He has had 14 games in Premier League, 5 in Europa, 1 as sub, and came on in the League Cup game. So, Gabriel, for you, what are you going to give Gabriel?
If he had not been like making the errors that he had around the first 6 games of the season, compared to now, for me, it would have been an 8, but he gets a 7, I'm afraid. Yeah, he's improved in recent weeks, but for me, it's a 7.
Yeah, to be honest, me, Tony, and you all agree a 7 because it's a 7 for me, but everyone jumps on me when I say he's only had a 7 season because he has had some iffy games, and we have to be honest. Just because we're top of the league, 5 points clear, doesn't mean that everyone is brilliant. But we've had this in centre backs before. Tony Adams, Steve Bold. There's always one winner out of those two. It's always Tony Adams. Steve Bold was brilliant, but he does make errors. He did. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
We can't all agree, and not everyone's brilliant, and that's fine. Right, Zinchenko, obviously slightly injury hit as well season. 7 games in Premier League, 1 assist. He's come on twice in the Europa League and League Cup. What are you going to give Sin?
For me, so far, I'd say 7.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been good. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet, but I think there's more to come with him. He hasn't been poor, but I just think there's more to come with Zinchenko.
I know I'm slightly diverting the conversation here, but would you like to see him in midfield a bit more?
Yes.
Yeah. Same as me. I think the way, because I watch Ukraine a lot, and the way he plays in the Ukraine international team is just incredible. He looks something different. And I'm just thinking, I wonder if we can't remove Xhaka from that position right now, but if Xhaka was to get an injury or anything, I think Zinchenko deserves a chance there, personally.
Well, you know what? It's not even about Xhaka getting injured. I just think as the season goes on, it also depends on what we do in the January window. I would like to see Zinchenko in the middle, playing in the Xhaka role, and Kieran Tierney as a left back. But then for Granit Xhaka, it's only when you just want to rotate and you just want to rest players. And Xhaka's played a number of games this season. Give Xhaka a rest or have him on the bench, you know what I mean? And then bring Zinchenko in.
Yeah. Tony's saying Zinny gets an 8. He's our best cheerleader too. For his cheerleading, he gets a 10. But for his playing, I have to stick with 7 as well. He is a fantastic cheerleader, I have to say. All he's missing is some pom-poms. I just love the way he is on the side of the pitch. He's just so brilliant. Such a great character. Tierney. Right. So this is quite interesting. When I was doing the stats, I was quite surprised. He's come on 9 times in the Premier League. He started 3 games in the Premier League, started all the Europa, started the League Cup. So for Tierney, what are you giving him for this season?
I think for me, I know he's been playing well in recent weeks before Zinchenko came back, but for me, it'd be a 7 as well.
Yeah.
I think a 7. I think he has been, from when we've seen him, he's been good, but I've seen him have better performances in recent seasons.
Yeah. Do you think, because I was quite surprised, obviously we've all watched the season, but sometimes it's quite surprising looking back at the stats, seeing that Tierney's come on 9 times. I'm like, wow, that is a lot of subs appearances. So Tierney's, he's just trying to annoy me now.
Close to a 7.
6 points. It is, exactly. Rounds it up to 7, so that's easy. But yeah, I'm going to agree with your 7, but I'm quite surprised that he hasn't started more because he is the natural left back.
Yeah.
Like Zinchenko, yes, he can play left back, but he's better in other positions. Tierney is a proper left back, like what we know as Nigel Winterburn and stuff like that. Proper left back. And Nigel Winterburn, he always used to tap down the left as well and whipping good crosses. He still reminds me of Winterburn. It's quite weird. So you're going to go with a 7 for Tierney, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, and Tony is worried about his future, to be honest. Oh, okay.
No, we spoke about this.
Yeah, I'm not, to be honest. Injury-wise, I probably am, but not playing for us. Okay, so we're going to move on to Tommy. Now, he's obviously had a bit of a mixed season as well with injuries. Played 4, started 4 as in Premier League. Come on 7 times in the Premier League. Played 4 in Europa. Come on twice. Tommy's obviously had a bit of a mixed one because of injuries. But what would you rate Tommy this year?
Oof. I mean, he had a fantastic game, as we all know, at left back. And so I think that was his best game at left back this season. When he's come on, when he started, he's just been tidy. He's just been same old Tomiyasu when fit.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that injuries getting away. But I don't. He's against Leeds. I wasn't impressed with him against Leeds at left back and Southampton as well. But then Southampton, when he switched to right back when substitutions were made, he looked more at home on that right hand side against the Saints.
Yeah.
But
True.
But wow, me and to be honest, overall, he hasn't been poor. So for me, it'd just be a 7.
Yep.
He's been part of some clean sheets as well. So
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one. We're going to get on to Tony's now. Hopefully, Tony's disappeared from the actual. There we go. Holding. Now, actually, Tony's just said Tommy gets an 8. Reason being, when he pocketed Salah, who took him home, taught him how to smash Spurs, freed him, and then bang, Salah buried Spurs. So he's got a big reason. But I'm going to stick with 7 due to the fact what you were saying is he's had some good games, but also not some great games. Yeah. Holding. Now I'm going to guess Tony's going to go for a 10. But
probably go for 11.
Yeah, he probably just 11.5 or something just to annoy me. He's come on 4 times in the Premier League. Obviously played all the Europa games with a header goal as well, and a League Cup performance as well. Holding. What would you give him this season?
I would say, for me, it's a 7 as well. I think he's been very tidy when he started. He gets 16. That's his shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to. I'm just being real here with what I've seen. He has been playing well for the season. He's been okay.
Yeah.
But he's like El Neni. He does what it says in the tin, really.
Yeah. Once he'll does exactly what it says on the tin.
But I don't want to upset the that Bros fan in there right now, because I mean the silver modern day Martin Keown.
Nah, I'm not putting him in the Keown category. Nah.
Maybe a modern day Andy Linnigan.
Yeah, there you go. That's what me and Brenny get on so well, because we know exactly what holding is. An Andy Linnigan.
Yeah, but we'll hold and score a winning goal in a cup final, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to go with a 7 for holding, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's fine. We are obviously going to have to move on to Cedric because he has actually played. League Cup, he's played once, come on 3 times in other competitions. Cedric, have you even noticed him playing?
No, I haven't.
No. I think he's going to be leaving in the January, I reckon.
I agree. We've got cover there now, so
we've got cover. We've got a youngster that can come in next season because obviously he's loan at the moment to cover like right back next season. I think it's time for him to say bye-bye. I think we're gonna have to give him a 5, aren't we? Let's be honest. I can't.
Yep. I'm with you on
that. Cedric is not applicable. I do get the not applicable, but we're trying to be fair, and we're going to give him a 5. I think that's fair enough. It's not saying he's awful, but he is. He's not at the quality that we need now. Now this is going to be an interesting one because me and you are probably going to differ on this as well. Xhaka. Yeah, goals 4, 6 assists, 1
Mm.
in Europa. He's played twice starter in Europa, come on 4 times. Now, Saka, what would you give him?
I mean, he's been really good in recent weeks. For me, it's tough one. I would say an 8.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I thought someone might go a bit higher there, so that's okay. Because Tony's gone for an 8.25. I know to annoy me, but you've gone for an 8, and to be honest, it's an 8 for me. He's had games where I think he could have done better for me, and he's definitely not a 7. So yeah, an 8 I think is good enough for me. I was expecting a little bit of a fight back, to be honest, but no. So far I'm loving your company, Brenny, because you're doing this perfectly. So Odegaard, right? This is an interesting one. Obviously, played 13 times in Premier League, scored 6, 2 assists. Europa, he's played twice, come on 4 times. Odegaard. Now, I'll let you go on with this one because I've got my own faults. So let's get your ratings.
I'll tell you what, he gets a 7 for me, and I'll tell you why. It's not the goals or the assists. It's like sometimes I feel when you need your number 10s to take certain games by the scruff of the neck, and he doesn't always do that. And that's the thing. Or there's one half you don't see him, and another half he's outstanding. So yeah, that's why he gets a 7 for me.
Okay. I'm going to go into the comments. Big up to Moss. He's on his way back to Saskatoon. Oh, wherever he's from. I can't remember the name of it. Saskatoon. It begins with a Sask. He's leaving Quebec. Just saying hello. 8, yes. Oh, so Moss even agrees with an 8 for Saka, so that's good. Odegaard, sorry, Moss, you're not going to like these scores, mate. Silver obviously giving Odegaard an 8. I'm with you though, Brenny, and this is I thought we were going to disagree on this one, but I'm a 7 as well. There's games that I think he just sometimes I feel like screaming at him sometimes. Just shoot. Because I swear he's got the ability, but I just feel like he's too nervous sometimes to get it wrong.
Yeah. Well, you know what it was, didn't it, Bobby? I mean, last week you must have shouted from outside your home because he obviously heard you.
I know. Yeah, he scores twice in my own backyard. Yeah, tell me about it.
He heard you.
Yeah, but that performance, if we were just doing that game, I'd give him a 9 because he was brilliant in that game.
Agreed.
But this is like mid-season review. We have to be honest. Exactly. If he continues like that after the World Cup, I'll be well chuffed because that was what I need. I need to see him do that. I need him to score because that's what we need from an attacking midfielder. We're obviously going to get onto Jesus, but we need goals coming from midfield, and we need quite a lot of them to continue this. So yeah, I'm gonna agree with the 7. Now we're gonna go with Thomas Partey. Premier League, he's played 11 goals, 2 come on 4 times in Europa. What's your opinion of Partey so far this season?
My number 1 player this season. For me, he gets a 10. He's just the guy's just instrumental in everything he does, and he's been for me, he's been the man.
So did you actually say a 10?
Yes.
You did, okay. Just making sure I haven't heard that right. Like 10.
I did. He's been that good, and also because of the importance of the man, because he's so important to the side. You could see that. I know we don't like making excuses and stuff like that, but he was missing against United, regardless of the result we had. And I felt last season, towards the end of the season, we missed him badly. Missed him badly.
Okay, well,
he's just exactly. Party very important. But yeah, I'm going with 10.
See,
He's been outstanding.
See, this is where it's going to be interesting because me and Moss are on the same wavelength here about Party. He's a 7.55. I know he's trying to do it to annoy me, but I'm more with actually Tony on the 8 because there's definitely 2 games that stick in my mind where I was like, "What are you doing? Have you turned up?"
Yeah, but I know what games you're on about, but yeah. But I think overall he's just been immense. He's just
So you're sticking with a 10, yeah?
Yes.
Not a problem. These are your scores, so I'm just going to write them down, and I'll speak to Tony and see if we can get them printed up and stuff. Now, someone that we have forgotten about, but he has actually played this season, Smith Rowe.
No.
He's played, yes, 4 subs appearance. I don't know if you remember any of them. I personally don't.
Yeah, they were at the beginning of the season, though.
Yeah, they were at the beginning. So this is going to be an interesting score because I think, in fairness, we can't give him a 5 because I don't think he's done anything wrong, but we definitely can't give him a 7.
No, it'd be a 6.
Yeah, it's got to be.
A 6. It'll be it's a 6 for me, and hopefully the 7s and 8s will come flying in once he's back, get match fit again, and back in the side.
Yeah. So it's interesting here. Citizen K is saying no 10s for me. For any player, there's always room for improvement. Party in 8.5. I do get where Brenny's coming from, and then Brenny basing the 10 for goal against Spurs.
No.
It's a Friday. Brenny likes to party. Oh, okay. Is that what it is? Got you. Moss agreeing with me, but Party's good at coming off, but it just doesn't feel. He doesn't look right sometimes, Party, and that's fine. Well, I hope your flight gets sorted too, mate. Right, so the next one is Vieira. Once he comes up, there we go. Okay, so he's started 1 in the Premier League, come on 7 times, played all the Europa games, played the League Cup games, got 2 goals, 2 assists. So Vieira, how would you rate his season? Bearing in mind he hasn't had a pre-season either, so his season technically is his pre-season, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. I would say it's not 6. It'd have to be a 7 for me.
Yeah.
He's not. What's that? There was a game a couple of weeks ago where he came on and he just struggled. I know it was only. I think he was only given like maybe 15, 20 minutes. But he hasn't.
Premier League.
He hasn't been bad, I find, but I just think he just needs to. He just needs to get stronger. But I think his game is good though. But
yeah.
And the fact that, like you said, he didn't have any pre-season, so for what he's done so far, not any pre-season, yeah, he's not done badly at all. So yeah, it'd be a 7 for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't disagree on that one. I do think we've got more to come. Big up to Temi Ola. T-Bag gets a 7 out of 10 so far. Vieira, too hard to live up to the name his name's Fabio Vieira, so we don't need to worry about that. ESR equals 5. What has he done? Yeah, fair enough. Vieira gets a 6.5. Yeah, he needs to get to a Weatherspoons for a mixed grill or something. Me and Bobby expect big things from Fabio. I definitely do. He's one of the guys I've seen for years. And well, I literally watched him for 3 years now, and the kid is special. He just needs to be. There was one game that we played him as defensive midfielder. That's not his. He's not a defender. So yeah. Sorry, Brenny, gonna have to disagree with you, buddy. Fabio Vieira deserves a 6 so far. Too many inconsistencies. I do get where he's coming from, but I kind of agree with a 7. I think his assist against Wolves he's definitely got a very special pass in him, and that is where I think we're missing that little bit of spark sometimes. Vieira has heaps of promise. Yeah, I guarantee in the next season, I think we'll see definitely the best. Now, here we go. Drum roll. I know who's next. Xhaka. Okay, so he's played 14, scored three assists in the Premier League, played 5 in Europa, came on in the League Cup. Now Xhaka. Now, bearing in mind that you gave Partey a 10, what are you giving Xhaka?
Granit Xhaka? Oh
Yeah.
man, this man's getting a 7. Seriously. No, I'm kidding. He's getting a 9. He's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible.
Okay. You said a 9. Why is he getting a 9 and Partey's getting a 10?
Roles are slightly different,
Okay.
but but Granit Xhaka, it's just been well. You know what? I know you don't do 0.5s, but I'll give him 9.5.
Yeah, Tony is as well.
You know what I mean? Exactly. He's a 9 point. On that level, he's a 9.5. I can't speak highly of this guy. I mean, he's already had his best season for Arsenal already, compared to all the other seasons he's had. And Arsene Wenger got him in. When Arsene Wenger got him in, it's like he isn't a DM, and we've all seen that, And Citizen K, that's my boy there. That's my boy. Yeah, I do agree. But he's been brilliant.
Yeah, I'll agree with the 9 because it's obviously your scores, but the fact that you gave Partey a 10. But anyway, Brenny, Tony was about to get on the train when you said 7 for Xhaka. Moss is just trying to wind me up even more with the scores now. 8.85. Luckily, I can write that up to a 9. But yeah, I'm perfectly happy with 9. Just obviously with the Partey getting a 10, Xhaka for me is my definitely player of the season for me so far. Lokonga. Okay, so he has played 9 times for us, coming 4 times on as sub as well. Now, Lokonga might disagree with you on this one, but we'll see what your score is for Sambi.
Ugh. Gosh. Do they do 5.4s?
To be honest, mate, if you gave him a 5, I will not disagree with you.
Because I thought when he was at Old Trafford, that 3-1 defeat, I didn't think he was bad.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay. And I remember speaking to my bro, big up Damos. We thought maybe from that game, maybe we thought he would push on. He hasn't.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, he hasn't. So it'd be a 5 for me.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you. Tony does. He goes for a 4. And big up to Temiola saying Slow Conga 4.5. He's really not impressed me at all this season. He's actually annoyed me because I think he's got so much talent.
He has. There is a player in there.
Yeah, but I just don't think he's got the right mentality to push himself on. I think I don't want to be horrible to Eddie, but I think he's very much like Eddie in the mindset where he has to continuously play. Sambi's never going to get that opportunity. So you need to grab that opportunity you get, and I don't think Sambi can do it. And everyone's agreeing with 5s. Moss is going for 5.75. I think 6 is way too much for him personally. He's really annoyed me actually. He's the only player that's actually annoyed me at the club this season. Is Sambi. So we're going to move on to El Neni. Now I know this is tough because obviously he's been out a lot, but again he has played. But the games that he has played, have you been impressed? He does what he says on the tin. That guy.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't let you down.
Yeah.
That's the kind of player he is.
So what would you give? What would you give El Nene?
I suppose if he'd have played more games, I'd have given him a 7. But I would just say, a 6. But he hasn't been, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been, if he'd have played more games, and I probably would have given him 7 because.
Yeah, well, Tony's going for a 7 here. The best Egyptian in the Prem. We missed El Neni at some point, 7. We definitely missed El Neni. But I'm thinking, can we give him a 7? I can't feel that we can give him a 7. There's not been a game that I've gone, oh wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with a 6. Now, one person that has made a very quick appearance for us, we do need to talk about him because he has got an appearance for us. Is now Waneri. Yeah. Right. What is your opinion on this very good kid? He is very talented. I obviously I watch a lot of under-21, so I know about the kid. But obviously he's not really appeared for us since.
Well, I thought he was going to figure in the League Cup, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is your opinion about this kid?
Well, from that one appearance, I mean, it'd have to be a substandard 5 because he wasn't given a lot of time.
Yeah.
To do anything. I'm not giving him a 5 because I think he's poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't given that time, but then I also thought was that, when they brought him on, that a dig at Ivan Toney. You know what I mean? Just to kick about. But yeah, so it'd have to be a 5 for him, but I'm sure
it's a 5 not based on the bad performance. It's a 5 because he's played so little for us.
That's right. Yeah.
Just before anyone watches his back, and we're not being hard on the kid. We know he's very talented. We've watched a lot of him at under-21s.
Lukonga's 5 is a different case. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's totally different. But,
but it's because we're doing player ratings, and my brain has to state everyone that's played for us this season because that's the whole point of the slideshow. It was everyone that's played. But yeah, I think 5 is fair enough, especially with the fact that we've said that he came on for a minimal amount of time. But we have talked about how good he is at under-21 level. There is a lot of talent about the kid, but I wish we did see him more on the subs bench, like getting 10 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 15 minutes there. Like Nottingham Forest game, like we were absolutely bossing that game. That would have been the perfect opportunity for him to get 20 minutes.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, and there's other like everyone knows my opinions on the Europa League. I would have played most of the kids if I could. He would have been one as well that I would have played. No, when Tony saying he gets a 10 was supplying for the 30 seconds he was on the pitch at Brentford. Very promising. Glad he gets hang with the first team quite a bit. A young lad, 6.5. Yeah, just so little to see. But I think 5 is absolutely fine because we have put Jesus. Right. Okay. The stats are quite shocking. Unfortunately. Right. So he's played 14, scored 5, 6 assists, played 5 in Europa, 3 as sub, got 1 assist, and came on the League Cup. Now, what's your opinion on Jesus this season? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It's tough because he's been brilliant for us this season.
Yeah.
He's been absolutely brilliant. For me, he's made such a difference as well to our forward line in terms of, you see, Martinelli and Xhaka. I always said they were quality. They were quality last season, but this season his presence has made 2 of them even better.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm going to give him a 9 because not just the goals and assists, but his work ethic. his work ethic's been, second to none. I mean, I played centre forward when I was younger, but I never had that type. I never put in that type of work that he does. No way. So the only negative I have with him is that, and I've said this already on this stream, he should have had more goals. He should be in double figures.
Yeah. And then
No.
Temio is saying that it's just a bit of goal drought. See, for me, I think I talked about this on someone's show before the season started. I didn't think he'd be scoring as many goals. I thought he'd open it up for the other people to do, which he has actually done. That's exactly what it is. That's why he's got 6 assists. So I've been proven right where I didn't think he was going to get, because a lot of people were saying he's going to go 20 goals. I didn't actually think that. I thought other people would score more goals. But then I've seen, because the Jesus that I've seen at Man City and the Jesus we've seen at Arsenal, 2 different people. I've never seen him work that hard at Man City, ever. His work ethic definitely gives him a 9, without a doubt for me. I think he's absolutely brilliant for us. Here's Citizen K saying Jesus has been a great player, 9 and off the pitch. Work rate is immense. Link up play, The caveat is that he's a number 9 and needs to be scoring more goals. Simple. Yeah, I do agree. He needs to be scoring more goals because obviously he's scored 5 in 14, and I think he's got the worst for expected goals. He's scored the least. Some stupid stat that they've come out with today. I don't really care. I don't believe in all this XG and all this stuff, because I'm sure we've seen goals being missed in our 40 years of watching football that they should have scored like on the line and it goes over the bar. I've seen loads of those. What was the XG for that? Like 5. Do you know what I mean? These things happen. It just happens and it's fine. I have no problem with it. But yeah, I would like him to score a few more. But the fact that his assists are 6 says to me that's exactly what I was expecting from him. I think he's going to be assist master. And he has. The player like him, oh, jeez, he's on about it. Tony, can we just ban him from saying that name at all? David, we have needed a long time since Arteta came and his system has his playmaker and really making us look good and system working. I agree that Jesus makes our system look brilliant because he's got the pace as well, and he's got the it just non-stop works. And I love the kid, really do. One of my favourite signings for a while, Jesus. So we're going to go on to Martinelli. So he scored 5, got 3 assists, played 5 in Europa substitutions, played 14 in the Premier League. So Martinelli, for you this season, what's the rating for you?
Oh gosh, 9. He's a machine. He's an absolute machine for me.
Yeah.
I'm giving him 9. I've been impressed with his performances this season.
Yeah.
With him, it's just, you know what? He's just, wow. He's become the player we all knew he'd be, and I think there's still more to come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what he's doing is now it's like whenever he's on that left-hand side, it's like he's now at times he's aware of who's around him or who he can play the ball to, or if he can if he's got an opportunity to score himself.
Yeah.
So his decision making has been a lot better than from when he first came to the club.
Yeah.
So for me, he gets a 9. He's been brilliant this season. Big fan.
Totally agree with you. I love the kid. The last winger that I was that excited about seeing. Now I'm going to skip Robert Pires just because he's slightly different. Is Mark Overmars.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Anders Limpar there.
No, I'm not going far that back. Overmars, when we signed over, but I love Limpar, don't get me wrong. I love Limpar, but Overmars was another one that I just.
We already knew exactly. It was exciting times. We already knew what we were going to get from Mark Overmars.
Yeah.
Considering he replaced Paul Merson.
Yeah.
At the Brewery.
Yeah.
And Merson was he was quality for us. So yeah.
Tony's going with an 8. He feels there's more to come. I have seen a question from Sickness and Cows. We'll get into that in a minute. Martinelli has 6 goals. Not his fault that Ericsson and the officials are fairies. I'll be perfectly honest, Tony. You know that I have to watch these stuff back, and it was a free kick. So I will be an honest Arsenal fan and just say that was a free kick, and it was.
It was a free kick.
Yeah, the rules are the rules. I don't agree with the rules, but the rules are the rules.
I didn't think it was a free kick. I mean, I've seen play go on for challenges like that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're sticking with the rules, in the rule of the game, it's a free kick. Unfortunately, it's just annoying. But it is what it is. I'll quickly get into Bobby is a fairy. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Tony. I'm from Ben and Holly's Little Kingdom. That's where I'm from. Question for us both. Do we need another striking journey? My quick answer is yes. What about you, Brenny? Oh, there
we
go.
We do, CK. We definitely do.
Yeah. Pick up to Niger. Martinelli 9 for sure. He has completely raised his game this year. Jesus being there has helped him a lot. I do believe that. I think it's been better for Xhaka as well. Give him a lot of space. Mo's improved in the squad for sure. I'd definitely say he's improved. He's going to step up every season for quite.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
Tony said,
no.
Yeah, thank you, Brenny. I'm glad you said it.
No. I'd rather bring back John Hartson. bring back Giroud. Come on, man. He's going to go to the World Cup and not score again and not even assist. Jeez.
Okay. You can only say one player. Who is the person that you would sign for Arsenal?
Oh, what?
As a alternative striker.
Ivan Toney.
Really?
I'm a big fan of Ivan Toney. I don't know. There's quite a few that don't rate him, but I rate him highly.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't just get him in to score our penalties because he doesn't miss.
Yeah. It's a tough one for me, I have to say.
I like Dominic Lewin, but with him, I just find he's injury prone.
Yeah. As we all are aware, but he has got until Thursday to respond. So until Thursday,
we've had players who are in trouble before, Mr. Silver One. We've had players who've been in trouble before at the club, and the club has helped and supported them. Come on. That was before he was born, though.
Yeah, exactly. Moss is obviously saying his one. Obviously, Tony tried to sort him out. It is a tough one for me. This is a strange one for me to say, but I'm going to say Saha, just because he's got the options of multiple positions.
Yeah.
We may only get him for like 2 good seasons, but I don't care. I think he can play the front.
He'd do a job. He would do a job.
Yeah. Nigel's saying at best we get 2 players. We need a wing and a DM first before striker. I still believe that we will be getting 3. That's definitely what I've heard. Is we're trying to get 3. I think we're bringing our summer plans forward due to the fact that they weren't expecting this kind of season so far. So I think they're just trying to be sensible. We'll see. We're definitely going to ignore the 50 million budget because I don't believe that's right. If we get a winger, don't forget we can play Martinelli up there. I don't think Martinelli is a striker. I'm not convinced about him being a striker yet. I need to see more from him finishing wise. Right. So we're going to go on to Marquinhos. You might disagree on him again. What will you give Marquinhos for this season? Obviously, he hasn't played much. He's come on twice, played 3 games, scored 1. Obviously, got his first goal for us and assist. But what would you give Marquinhos for this season so far?
What he's done so far, it'd have to be a 6.
Okay, you're with me again. We must be linking brains tonight, mate.
Well, you know us old school fans, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Even Tony's going with a 6 here as well. Temi going back to about a previous thing. Cam Balogun next season, I do believe Balogun will be a very good option, but I think we need to bring someone in January. For me, if we're going to get 3, it's a winger. Mind you, if we went for Saha, you've then got the striker and the winger.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? I'm covering 2 positions with 1 player there. Temi Aguilar Marquinhos gets a standard 6. And I think this is what will happen in January. If we get the winger that we're all being linked with, I think Marquinhos does go out, to be honest. I think it will do him some I'd love him. I really would love Osimhen. But yeah, the money that would, I think it's the money that he'd want as well, as in salary wise. I think that wouldn't go with our plan. What do you think of Osimhen?
He's a quality player, but for me, you know, when it comes to players, I never think, you know, he's too expensive. He's this, he's that. You know, I just think it's you know, we're not a hard up club. It's all about what the funds. It's all about what the board will be able to release.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In terms of transfer funds and player wages, they can handle that. So I don't worry about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But he's a quality player. I think he'd fit in well into our system.
All right, we have got just 2 left. We've done really well, to be honest. We've got through nearly 25 players. Right, the last 2 are going to be the most talking points, I reckon. So Eddie. I'm glad Gums is not here because I know he's not going to agree with my score. So Eddie, for you, what are you going to give Eddie for this season?
I'm giving him a 7, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
it's not.
Please do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Europa League. He's obviously made impression, got goals in that. But I just feel that what I like about Eddie as well is that he's for me, he's not a lazy player. I always see him trying to work hard, always, you know, trying to get into spaces, you know, trying to get the right positions, and I love the way he presses. You know, he for me is never going to be an elite striker, but I feel he can. But I feel he can be Premiership class. You know, I think he can get there, and I think if it's a case of, all I'm saying is that if come after World Cup, Jesus picks up an injury, he's really, really going to have to make that count.
Yeah,
He's going to have to, you know, he's going to have to, count, and because there is a good player in there.
Okay.
So for me, he gets a 7.
Is Gums are in the same room as you? So I'm just watching Gums in the same room as you right now. Because
he is. No, he is. But he's not listening to. He's watching Goran Price playing Raven van Barneveld. So yeah.
oh, you got the darts on? Because the darts are actually. It's just down the road from me.
Oh, is it? Of course it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Eddie's gets a 5 from Niger, and I'm more to the 6 and 5, to be honest. Eddie Sonoga.
No.
6.5.
No,
that's funny though, to be fair. What for Eddie Brenny? We're having a laugh. Eddie 5. Even Tony's going for a 5. And I kind of. It is funny, to be fair. It's not little mean. It's actually quite funny. It's just funny. He's a championship striker. I think he's a championship striker at best. And this is why I say this is quite hard for me to say, because I watch a lot of England under 21s. When I see him for the under 21s, he looks amazing. But he's never done that at Arsenal. He might have had that little purple patch last season, but it was a purple patch. It wasn't great for me. Citizen Kane saying here, oh boy, the Eddie debate. Still not the fittest article. He's a worker, like Brenny said, but I disagree. He's never. Oh, okay. So he's disagreeing with you here. He's never going to be a real Premier talent. Sorry, not good enough. I'm going to have to give you on that one as well, to be honest. I can't see him being. He hasn't shown enough. He's like, we can see there. He's come on 12 times.
I know he's not the answer, but what I'm trying to say is that he can be Premiership class. I'm not saying right now, but that's why I said we need another forward in.
Yeah.
I
actually do believe that Balogun's now better than Eddie.
I'll rate Balogun.
Yeah, and I think that means for Eddie, it's probably time to move on. And I know Gumza will hate me saying that, but for his career, I think it's better for him to go.
But do you think he would move on though, Bobby? I mean, considering he wouldn't take a pay cut, would he?
Well, this is the thing. I've been waiting for quite a while to get the confirmation of how much he's being paid. And in the last few weeks, I've got confirmation of it. It is exactly how much they were talking about. Now, who in their right mind is going to pay £100,000 a week to Eddie?
That's how much he is on for real, because I haven't even got the latest Football Manager game yet. And if anyone in the chat has it, I'm sure you've already checked out his wages per week. So
it is. I do question why on earth we did it. I know he was on 45 before, but to go up to 100 is a little bit mad. To be honest,
I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that at all.
No, it's like the next player we're going to talk about. He's on 15 at the moment. Now, if we were to give him a new contract, I hope we're sensible about it. But so Tony's saying because it's Friday night, it's brandy night for you, Brenny. Is that right?
No. I've just been on the lemon and ginger tea. That's what I've been drinking.
Oh, that sounds quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And the last player, now it does need to be talked about, Nelson. Right, his contract is up next season, I think, isn't it? Is it this season or next season? He's on 15 grand right now. Would you give him a new contract of what you've seen this season from him?
No. I think with him as well, there's the problem with Reece Nelson is that there's no consistency with him.
Yeah.
There's no consistency with him whatsoever. And the times where you'll see him working hard, and there's other times where he doesn't. And yeah, I mean, well, but I'll tell you what, if he does end up having the second half of the season, if he does end up having a good season and, and performs, goals, assists, regardless whether it's on the bench or not, then he probably will get a new deal. Yeah. And he'll probably get a column as well. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't get. You know what? I wouldn't give him a new deal. There, I've said it.
Okay, that's fair enough. I know Gumza would totally disagree. What would be the rating you've given him for the season so far? I know he hasn't played much, but from what we've seen,
he would get a 6.
Yeah,
it's not a 6 because it's not he's been poor. He gets a 6. It's not that.
Yeah,
that's not that kind of 6 at all. You know what I mean? Just going with the games and yeah. But the 2 goals against Forest, though, I mean, yeah, they do his confidence a world of good.
Because Gumza was saying that his performance against Brighton was also very good. But I've never been convinced.
I remember a few years ago, I got really excited right? And watching him in the for the under-18s,
Yeah,
and I thought, yeah, we got a player here. And obviously went up to the under-23s and thought, yeah, and then saw him years ago at the Emirates Cup, and I thought, yeah, we've got a player here, But
yeah,
it hasn't taken off really. I mean, I know he's had.
yeah.
I've lost count how many loan spells he's had, but
Yeah, and then they've never really been perfect, have they? There's always been a problem there or bad performances. And so Nigel, going back to the Eddie thing, if we can get 15 to 20 million for him in the summer, then it won't be that bad.
I
The thing
agree
is
with that,
his contract, and I know that Mohammed has put that Eddie is not on 100k a week. He is on a lot less. He's not on a lot less, and it is add-ons, but his wages end up being 100 grand a week, which is still mad for a player that hasn't done much. I do appreciate your comment though, Mohammed, but I do.
Definitely. He's probably got Football Manager as well, so he must have seen that.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it is £100,000, and those add-ons are achievable for him.
Yeah.
So we might as well just say it's 100,000. Okay, maybe, but Rima comments correctly. Ongoing debate. It's net. Yeah, I do get it totally, Mohammed, but it's still madness. Because I know that there's players in our lineup now that get a lot less than him, and that's where I think it's mad. Because Eddie's not going to be playing every game. If he was a first teamer, guaranteed first teamer, then 100 grand's fine. But he's not going to play that many games. And we're paying him more than Gabriel, let's say, because Gabriel, I think, has only just got to £100,000 himself. He was on 50,000 before. I'm trying to think of someone else on top of my head. Like Nelson's only getting 15 grand.
Yeah.
For me, it's just mind-boggling why we got to 100,000. Obviously, Eddie's got a great agent, and well done to Eddie. Yeah, so the add-ons are for appearances and goals and private. Yeah, exactly. I guarantee, probably most weeks he probably gets the £100,000. Unfortunately, agree. Just like Eddie Nelson, it is another that lacks consistency. Hence, why they've never really been able to press on with their Arsenal careers. So, for you, you would let Nelson go?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I can't see him, like, let's say Smith Rowe comes back fully fit, fully firing. Obviously, you've got Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right. Fabio Vieira can play on the right mainly. When's Nelson ever going to play? He's never going to play, is he?
This is it, because no disrespect to him, but he won't. He won't get ahead of those guys.
Yeah, and Arteta's mindset is more don't like changing the squad too often.
Yeah.
So it's not like a big squad rotation, man. You need to think of. I get that they're Arsenal players, and we all love them because they've come through the academies and stuff, and they've been with us for years. But you kind of have to leave that at the door sometimes and go, what's best for their career? I'm thinking of this as their career. Nelson wants to play football. We're going to be pushing higher and higher up that league. I know we're top now, but you know what I mean? Like in the coming seasons, we're going to be wanting to go for the Premier League title every season. Nelson's not that quality.
No,
he's just not. And I hate saying that I don't like it, like a player. I want him to go, because I'm not saying I don't like him, but I think I'd think he'd be better at a Southampton or. To be honest, he'd probably do all right at Crystal Palace. To be honest,
yeah, true.
Or even at Brentford. I'm not saying championship level. I don't think even Eddie's championship is probably more lower league for us. I don't want players sitting on the bench not playing. It's not nice to see it for me, and that's just me. I don't know about you, but it's their dream to play football. The last thing you want to see is their dream just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
give them a chance to go out and do something. Like we got Matt Smith, that he's 22 now. He's still at Arsenal. He's never going to play for us.
Mm.
He's a good kid.
Guaranteed, if he goes elsewhere, he'll be playing week in, week out.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Danny Ballard, he's doing it now. There's quite a lot of our players that have gone out and they're playing constantly all the time now. You just if you're as a kid, most of us have all wanted to play football, probably at a big level. You're not going to want to go, oh yeah, when you get to become a granddad, oh granddad, did you play football? Yeah. What position? Mainly you sat on the bench. It's not something you want to be talking about, is it? You want to stay up. You know, there has to be a point where there's just goes, good for your career. Eddie's reps did fantastic. Yes, they did. I don't care about the number, just to state that. I really couldn't give a monkey's bum about the number. Due to the fact Martin Keownwall had the same number. So, you know, it doesn't really bother me. Mohammed saying Nelson is a talented player, but he must be consistent till the end of the season and do well with the minutes he will have. If he don't, he will stay for the future. Yeah, I agree with that, but I just don't see it happening, to be honest.
I don't either.
Nelson is as good as Sancho. Will have to sell.
No, Sancho's different class.
Hang on, has he missed a letter word out there? Is as good as Sancho will have to sell. Is he meant to saying if Nelson is as good as Sancho will have to sell?
Must be,
because I've seen Sancho and I rate Sancho highly.
Yeah, same here.
No, I definitely disagree with you there. Maybe it's my Dortmund. Yeah. Maybe it's my Dortmund hat on, but I watched a lot of him at Dortmund, and he was out of this world at Dortmund. Brilliant. And I just don't think he suits the United setup at the moment. That's just what I think. But to be honest, we have managed to do all 25 players, and it's only taken us an hour and 10 minutes, which isn't too bad.
No.
So we obviously did the mid-season review. I think that was yesterday. Was it yesterday? So what's your expectations for the rest of the season? Do you think we have a chance? And I'm not going to say about what, because you know what I'm on about. Do you think we have a chance?
What, you mean have a chance to win the FA Cup? Yeah, of course we do, 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah. Europa League, of course, yeah. Oh, you're talking about the title? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, you know what? We are in a title race. Yeah. No doubt. If you look at the league table right now, we're in a title race.
Yes.
You know, and we are what? 14, 15 points ahead of fourth, fifth spot, something like that. So yeah, the gap is widening.
Yeah.
And that's all we can do is just come December 26th against West Ham. You know, I know they're my dad's team, and he actually said, if West Ham have to lose that game, then so be it, because Dad said he wants Arsenal to push on and win the title. Oh, you know, fair play, Dad. But he's always been like that, though. You know, even though he still has, he's got love for West Ham. Of course, they're first and foremost their team. So if we can push on, in the league before that FA Cup break, because I think we got 3 league games before the FA Cup. So we can get 9 points. If we can get 9 points from those 3 games, I know one of them's Newcastle, but to be honest with you, I'm not worried about them.
No,
going there, yes. But if they come into us, I'm not worried, because the Emirates is a fortress, and it was something that Cannas said months ago, and I'm in agreement with him. Where, regardless of who you play at home, I expect to beat them at home, do the business. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, we you know, like I said, we are in a race, and you know, we can just enjoy being 5 points clear, and try and enjoy this odd World Cup that's coming up, and hopefully in the January window we can. I think we probably will get a couple of players I mean, I was saying the other day on Gunner King's channel and on his show, I'd like to see 3, but realistically, I think it'd be 2.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think
Mm.
Arsenal would love 3, but I think they'll settle for 2 if that's the best they can do. But there is the possibility of like pre-signing someone as well. There's a couple of players that we're looking to that have got their contracts running out. So if that's an announcement, and I'm to be honest, I'm quite fine with that as well. Like if we know we've got 2 coming in the summer that are going to be improving our squad. Like Tielemans is still going to be out of contract. Trossard is out of contract. Ndeke, who is the left centre back in Germany, he's out of contract. If we get those 3 signed up coming in for next summer, I'll be like dancing, be well chuffed. As long as we still sign 2 in January as well, because that's 5 new players then that are squad level as well.
Well, those you just mentioned, Bobby, and say Mudryk as well, for example. If we were to have those players, even so, say next summer,
yeah,
what would make me happy was that obviously we could well, touch wood, I'll be shocked if we didn't even get in the Champions League next season. But for those players as well, for Arteta, squad rotation would be so easy because you're bringing in quality for quality.
Yeah,
you're resting quality. You're resting quality. You're bringing in quality. That's what we need.
Yep.
And that's why you'll probably get a few fans that would say to anybody, well, why would you get this player in? Why would you get that player in? What's going to happen with Xhaka? What's going to happen with Pai? What's going to happen with this? And that's why you need that. You need the squad.
Yeah,
you could rotate just like in the old days.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was literally thinking. I was thinking because I used to go to Highbury and I never knew the squad. You get your program, you go, okay, who's going to be announced? Because we knew the squad depth was good enough. So whatever player was out there, you'd be like, okay, we're still going to give it a fight anyway. And
exactly for me, Highbury, under George Graham, I saw more games under Arsene Wenger than I did George Graham, and with both those managers, no matter who, it didn't bother any of us who was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So Tony's saying that Xhaka is the player of the season so far. Not in Brenny, as it's Party. He's the man of the season at the moment. Temi Ola would take Pen Mbappe as his backup in January. Yeah. I'm not going to read that comment. I'm just going to put it up there because I know I'll be clipped. So I'm not going to read it. I told so many people that Sancho will flop in the Prem. What's he done since? I get that I know he hasn't had a great season in the Prem, but he's got the quality. So I know he can if he can find the right way of playing, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta, the Spanish, no, he's not. George Graham is something different. I don't think we can put him in the same category. Not for me, anyway. I've unlike where you've said you've seen more Wenger, I've actually seen more George Graham because we used to go every single time at Highbury, and now I live in Wolverhampton, so it's not exactly somewhere I can go. But yeah, I've seen more George Graham, and weirdly, there's a weird story. His best friend was my mum's hairdresser, so we got to meet him quite a lot. He was a very decent guy, very funny, and I'll always love him. I always will. He's always going to be my favourite manager of all time. Just because
I'll tell you what, I love. I mean, I'm a big Graham fan.
Yeah.
And when I talk to a lot of young fans about George Graham, it's like they don't really want to discuss George Graham, regardless of May the 26th, 1989, which is the best day of my life as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
It still means a lot to me. And I'm guessing you've got the 89 DVD.
I have the 89 pins, the badges. I have everything. You carry on talking. I'll see if I can find it quickly. Here somewhere.
So yeah, I mean, there's that. But I've always said that Arsene Wenger gave me the best football. Even though we played great football under George Graham, we played even better. Oh, wow.
That's what I've got.
Oy.
So I've got all the pins of all the players, even the subs.
Wow.
Perry Groves, Martin Hayes.
Martin Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's next to my bed. That's how important it is to me. all my treasured stuff is right next to my bed. It's yeah. I've even got the Arsenal history book down there as well. It's just everything Arsenal is next to my bed.
I've got a few Arsenal history books as well. So yeah. And I've always said to younger generation fans, even when I'm out there and I'm working and whatever I'm doing, and then when people see me wearing Arsenal tops over here, and I'm like, and I talk to young generation about Arsenal, even Herbert Chapman, I'm like, yeah, you must read your history, man. Read your history in the Arsenal.
Yeah,
it's a great.
It is fascinating, and to be honest, there's a lot of people that I know. I don't want to be talking about Tottenham too much, but when you read the history about Arsenal, Tottenham, and what actually happened to the Arsenal, you've got to kind of realise it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault in the first place. We were the victim of something bigger at the time. I don't want to blame the people that happened, because I get what they were trying to do as well. But we were a victim of something that we weren't in control of, and it was sad. And we had no choice. We didn't choose to go to North London.
Well,
it was a situation.
This is a thing.
Empty cupboards. That's what they have.
Yeah, that's right. We just thought we'd fill up the trophy cabinets in North London.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what Tottenham fans have next to their beds is empty cupboards, because that's what they're used to. They love empty cupboards. They're like feng shui, aren't they? Whatever you call it. But Brenny, we talked about loads of weird stuff now at the end, but big up to you as well. Thank you ever so much for coming on, mate.
Thank you for having me on.
It's been a pleasure. Big up to everyone in the chat as always. It's been brilliant conversation. But I will be back tomorrow actually, because I'm doing a watch along, an Arsenal watch along, because it hasn't totally finished for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still Arsenal. Women are still playing, and I'm very excited actually. Actually, I spoke to Gumza yesterday about this game. I didn't realise Man United lost their last game against Chelsea. I thought they'd.
Right.
So we are technically 3 points clear because Chelsea have played a game more. So if we win tomorrow, I think the Arsenal women have definitely got a very good chance as well. Just imagine that Arsenal women, Arsenal men winning at the same time. That has happened before.
It has indeed.
And it's always a happy because I think after the Arsenal men, it's definitely the Arsenal ladies very close second. I just love their passion. They always make
because I think when the Arsenal ladies were winning league titles, I think one of the players, she retired from the time, and I'm sure it was Marianne Spacey. I think it was Marianne Spacey. I think was a title winner as well with us.
Yeah.
I think she won a couple of league titles. She was brilliant because I can remember as a kid, she was the one person that stood out for me. Where I think she played for Wimbledon or Doncaster Bells, and then when she came to Arsenal, her experience, she just tore it up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. God, Doncaster Bells. I don't think they even exist now, do they? Doncaster Bells. They were the big team back then as well, weren't they? They were massive.
Well, if there is Doncaster Bells in Doncaster, it's probably the name of a pub.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Colm actually, because Colm's from Doncaster. I'll have to ask Colm to speak to him next. But yeah, I just can't wait to watch that. So yes, if you're free tomorrow, please join me on the watch along tomorrow. It's 5:30 kickoff. I'll be doing it.
Kickoff. Ooh.
Yeah,
not too sure.
No. Don't worry if you can't, but if anyone can, I'd love it.
I've got a few things on tomorrow, and I think I may be going to a football match tomorrow for my local side. I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah, but big up to everyone. Really appreciate it. We are definitely out. There will be some shows coming up. There's a lot of backstage stuff being talked about a show that's going to be interesting as an Arsenal perspective on something that's happening in the world, or the world of football, should I say. So yeah, watch out for that because it could be quite interesting. But big up to everybody. But right now, come on, you Gunners. And we're talking about the ladies this time. Come on, you ladies. Big up to everyone. See you later, guys.
All the best.